I'm Frederick Weisel, and I've written a novel called Teller. The novel takes place in Sonoma County, which is in Northern California, about an hour north of San Francisco. The main character, Charlie Teller, lives in what the novel describes as a converted water tower. Now, these towers are distinctive to this part of California, but they're quite different from what you would think of as a water tower in the Midwest or the East Coast of the United States. So I'd like to show you a few of them so that when you're reading the novel you can visualize them. This tower behind me is typical of what I'm talking about. This one happens to be in Healdsburg, California. As you can see, it's about 2 stories tall, and it's made out of wood. When it was used as a water reservoir, there would have been a tank inside on the 2nd floor. These structures were built in the 19th century, mainly for farms and orchards. They were needed because we live in Sonoma County in a Mediterranean climate where it doesn't rain for about 5 or 6 months of the year. So the farmers needed a supply of water. The tower gave them not only that supply, but it also gave them a way of controlling the pressure. The water would be pumped up into the tank, and then when it was needed, it could be withdrawn at a steady pressure. Once these structures were no longer needed for their original purpose, some of them were converted into houses, and I'll show you some of these next. As you can see, there's several different shapes and forms of these towers. Some are 1-story, some are 2-story. Some have the stairway on the inside, in other cases the stairway is on the outside. I imagine my character, Charlie Teller, living in one of these towers for 2 reasons. One, it's a symbol of his character. His job has been to listen to people and write their life stories. Several of the other characters in the novel criticize him for being too remote. By living in a tower, he's able to be above and away from other people. Later in the novel, he does leave the tower and become more engaged. The second reason I use this tower is much simpler. When I moved to this county 30 years ago, I looked at a rental property with one of these towers on it, and I imagined what it would be like to have a study on top. So I've long imagined what it would be like to live in one of these, and by having my character live in one, I was able to experience it vicariously.